was a fever, a cold sweat heart, he that believeth. I threw my hands up in the air, said, show me something. He said, if you dare, come a little closer. Round and around and around and around we go.
Wow.
Oh, now, tell me now, tell me now, tell me now you know.
Hello, Chris Walker here with Big Angie Fan Channel, back with another vlog. Today I'll be talking about the view that some fans have, and some former fans have, that Angelina Jordan's singing peaked at about age 12, and she just isn't as good now as she was back then. And I'm actually more sympathetic to that view than you might think. So let's go over what I see as the 5 main arguments made in favor of this view, in order from worst to best. So the first argument focuses entirely on her appearance. The point here is simple. She's no longer the angelic child with the white dress, the wild hair, and the missing teeth that first captured the world's attention. And for some viewers, that childhood image was a big part of her appeal. And yes, I think we all have some nostalgia for that little girl.
Med 46% av stemmene, Angelina! Ja. Hvordan har du det? Utrolig. Ja. Og nå det lov å gråte en liten skvett.
But of course, the problem with this view is that her looks have nothing to do with how well she sings today. And if you insist that looks should be a factor in evaluating an artist, I would say, along with many other fans, that I enjoy seeing how she's grown into a tall, beautiful woman. The second argument is also not about the music per se, and focuses on a perceived shift in her values since she relocated from Norway to Los Angeles around age 12. Now, while I'd say that her values, just like her looks, are also irrelevant to vocal talent, I do think that they have always been a core part of her appeal, and I would be less of a fan now if I felt that they'd changed. So the claim is that she's more concerned with her image now, and less of the kind humble soul that she used to be. As evidence of that, people point to things like her use of blue contact lenses, her new straightened teeth, and social media clips where she's vamping and showing off her curves. But the thing is, I don't think that these things really indicate some kind of fundamental change. For example, regarding the contact lenses, we don't know the real reasons behind that. They could easily be a way to honor her grandmother, who has naturally blue eyes. And the new straightened teeth could be because she was teased as a child. She often had the famous closed-mouth Mona Lisa smile back then, and fans have speculated that it was partly because she was self-conscious about her teeth. And the vamping on TikTok and a greater interest in one's appearance in general is completely normal for a teenage girl. Sister Juliet is starting to behave that way too. They've always done, normal person things like that. It's just that there's a lot more documentation of it now in the era of the ubiquitous smartphone. Another thing that people point to is the lack of videos lately of her doing performances for charities, while we saw many in her younger years. But I think that's misleading. We have good evidence that she still does charity work. It's just less publicly seen now. And we don't really know exactly why that is, but I'd say it probably has to do with the security concerns that come with living in Los Angeles compared to the more laid-back environment of Norway. Here's a moving TikTok posted by her grandmother Mary, which showed Angelina and her sister Juliet helping homeless people in the LA area. They did this privately, and notice that Mary states that they did it with a security detail. And most importantly, I know from my own direct experience, from meeting her and seeing her at concerts, that the grown-up Angelina remains very loving and kind.
As many of you guys might know, I always sing Bare Feet to give back to all children in need. And I will always do that. I stand by it. It's part of my identity. And
now the third argument is the first one that looks at the actual singing and focuses on the loss of the extreme visual contrast that defined her early career. When Angelina was young, the gap between her child's body and her deep, mature voice was quite startling.
What was that? What was that grunt? That's just unbelievable. It's like she woke up that morning and went, I'm 40 today. That is the voice of a 40-year-old. This is insane.
Because you're mine.
But today, the argument goes, with the voice matching the body more, the shock value is diminished, and her performances no longer have the same impact on her audience. To that I say, this same thing has happened to all child prodigies once they matured into adulthood. And it doesn't mean they stopped growing as artists. That's why I prefer to point newcomers to Angelina away from the shocking prodigy videos altogether. Instead, I direct them toward her newer material, where the focus isn't on her age, but rather on the fact that she is a phenomenal singer at any age.
If you only see what you want to see, you're never gonna know me. Shut up now. If you wanna hear what you wanna hear, I thought I told you I will mess up your roses are red, violets are blue, and you are a fool to try, 'cause I'm a bad Valentine. I'm a bad Valentine. I'm a bad Valentine. 'Cause I'm a bad Valentine.
Moving on to the fourth argument, it's the most objective, and it's something I've actually noticed myself when attending her concerts. This argument relies on a direct comparison of Angelina Jordan performing the exact same song at younger and older ages.
It's a new day, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
For example, in that comparison, in the earlier video, her vocal tone sounds cleaner and she holds the belt longer. And there are other comparisons like this, where I would tend to agree that the younger Angelina does sound better. But I still think this comparisons argument fails for two main reasons. First, most of these comparisons are apples to oranges, where they're comparing a recent concert performance recorded on a phone from the audience to an older television appearance. And those TV appearances are always going to sound more impressive because of the professional audio engineering and because she could focus all of her energy on just one song. It's unfair to compare that to an amateur concert recording with muddy audio and where she has to manage her voice across a multi-song set list. And when you actually make apples to apples comparisons, such as a past TV performance of a song to a recent TV performance of that same song, the adult Angelina usually sounds significantly better.
Godspeed your love to
And second, as Angelina has expanded her musical toolbox, she's gotten more experimental with her vocal choices. Naturally, some of those live experiments are less successful than others, and there are times when she can seem to be trying a bit too hard.
No one knows me like you do, and since you're the only one that matters, you tell me who to run to. Don't get me wrong, I know no one knows me like you do, and since you're the only one that matters, tell me who to run to. Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong, I know.
But when those risks pay off, she reaches entirely new heights.
If this is all that's left to bust, let me stay inside the dust. Don't send me from where I used to be. Memories is all I need. Love is pure.
Hold on. So
Wow.
now I understand the strap in comment. That was amazing. That was like wow. That was probably
We went from like buttery smooth to like breaking glass, and just flawlessly, just effortlessly, just she's something else.
And the final argument, and to me the most compelling, is highly subjective. This argument claims that there was a specific, beautiful tonal quality to her voice around age 12 that simply isn't there anymore.
Speak softly, love, so no one hears but the sky. The vows of love will make believe until we die. My life is yours, and all because you came into my world with love.
Now for me, yes, I agree there was something special about her tone then. And I will always view age 12 as a milestone year where she reached unbelievable heights. And a disproportionate number of her top fan favorites do indeed come from this time period of ages 11 to 13 or so. But we have to look at the context. For one thing, she had a remarkably fast surge of vocal growth in the 2 years leading up to age 12, but still looked like a young child. So that shock value of the voice not matching the body was at its absolute peak at that age.
I only wanted to have fun, learning to fly, running to run. I left my heart beside the way when I was young.
Stop it. Stop.
When
stop.
you were young?
Yes, that, but also just the voice coming out of that kid. It's like crazy. That just doesn't seem real. It's such a mature tone, just a fully developed, warm sound. Oh my goodness.
We've done like 12 songs, and every time it's like my expectations are already up here, and then she opens her mouth, I'm like, they weren't up high enough.
And she was also at her most prolific during that time, with an album, the Ivan Mendes sessions, and performing multiple concerts a year at age 11 and 12. So it's such a large pool of great performances. It's not surprising that a very large percentage of top fan favorites come from that era. And that era was soon followed by a relatively lean period, with 3 years of no concerts due to COVID. So the peak of age 12 stood out even more. And lastly, while her vocals may have lost a specific youthful tone as her body changed, I'd say they've also gained a lot of power, range, texture, control, and complexity. Some of her most stunning vocal performances ever are from these last couple of years.
Hell yeah.
I love the curve of her lips down, how that manipulates the sound. Yes! Yes, again! That little edge. Then the vibrato. Oh.
Smokes.
Oh, you played through the end. Oh, that was awesome.
So, did Angelina Jordan peak at age 12? Absolutely not. While she has been great at every single stage of her life, and while age 12 will always stand out as a historic milestone in her career, she continues to evolve. She's constantly adding to her vocal toolbox, taking risks, and getting better with each passing year. She still has years left before she reaches her true ultimate peak.
Let me drown where we once found, in the place we understood. Oh no, I don't need tomorrow's light, just one honest, and I